Hello, everybody. I am so glad to be back with you here today. And as you can see, we're going to paint this adorable little gingerbread man. I bought this little cookie cutter at a used craft shop that we have around here for 50 cents. And then I just lightened my lines with my kneaded eraser a little bit. And now I'm coming in with clean water and I'm just going to fill in the entire gingerbread man. That'll just help my paint to move around more smoothly when I put it in and also allow my first two layers to mix together right on the paper. So once I get that all filled in, I am coming in with a burnt sienna. And if you don't have burnt sienna, but you kind of want that orangey look, at least on this first layer, you can mix together orange and brown and just play with those colors until you get the color that you like. If you saw the title of my video, you noticed that it said I spilled my coffee on this. And it's true, I was almost done with the entire thing. And I just thought I needed to show you my mug because it's so cute. And no, it didn't go very well. And I was going to start over, but then I decided, nope, I'm just going to leave it because, things happen. All right, I'm coming in now with some brown over top of my burnt sienna and just letting them mix on the paper. And you can see I'm just dabbing it in. I'm speeding it up because really I'm just kind of trying to stay within the lines, and I don't think you need me to do that in real time. Oh, here's the first attempt where I thought, oh, can you see my mug? It's so cute, and it was only $2.99. But it's so much, there's so much coffee in it. I thought, well, I'll just sip it throughout the painting, and then when it gets low enough, I'll show you it. That was the thought process. All right, I let those first two layers dry completely, and now I'm coming in again with just brown, and it's actually called umber, but just use brown or whatever colors you want. And again, I'm speeding up because it's coloring within the lines, at least attempting to. So, and I did do two layers of the brown. I was going to just do a shadow, which would have looked kind of nice on that our left side, his right side. But then I decided I really want the whole thing to be a little bit darker. And now, once that's completely dry, I'm going to come in with my bleed-proof white. You can use acrylic, gouache, a gel pen, whatever you've got on hand that's going to be opaque enough to really stand out. And also feel free to pencil in your eyes and mouth and all the little decorative things we're going to put on his arms and legs. I just decided to go right in and go for it because if I were putting icing on a gingerbread man, it would not look perfect. So, thanks to the couple people who suggested that I paint a gingerbread man, I think Molly and Margaret, if I'm not mistaken. And sorry if I'm missing anybody, but he's adorable and he's fun to do. Especially fun and easy if you have a cookie cutter that you can just trace, because I tried a few times to draw it freehand and I'm not good at it. It's kind of like stars. I don't do them very well. Okay, I let the white completely dry and then I'm just coming in with a second coat, which is why I'm speeding it up. I'm trying to respect your time. You don't need to just sit here and watch me color in between the lines and blah, blah, blah. All right, for the bow tie, I'm using Hooker's Green and just did a little circle and a couple little triangles right off of that circle. Of course, you can use whatever color you'd like for the bow tie. And now I'm coming in. I wanted his little buttons to look like little red hot candies, but really, if you just want to keep it super duper simple, use your white. So I'm just painting those circles in, and this is kind of where I think, oh, I'm just going to let these air dry because they're kind of big puddles of water, and I don't want to risk putting the air on them and moving them around. So I'm like, while that dries, I'll show you my adorable $2.99 mug that I got at Hobby Lobby. And then I was like, isn't it so precious? It's so cute. Oh no. That's what I did in real time. That was a voiceover reenactment, but is it accurate? Look at his buttons. Look at his buttons. I was like, well, I guess we're going to start over. So let me get the lights out of the way. And he looks happy still, but I thought, well, I'll just kind of mop it up here and then we'll start over because this is my life. But then I thought, hey, he doesn't look too bad. So I'm just going to clean everything up, dry it up, and we're going to go with it. And I'm just speeding it up so because we're just filling everything in that we just did. And yes, I do have a little coffee stain here, but oh my goodness, whatever, it's life. And then I thought, well, now I have to show you the mug because evidently I was willing to risk the whole painting to show it to you. So it must be important to me. And isn't it cute? Oh my goodness. I obviously emptied my mug and dried it off to make sure that I could safely show it to you again. Okay, now I'm coming in with my white gel pen and I'm just putting some little rounded highlights on the side of our little red hot candies and is also putting them on the bow. One little highlight on each triangular shape and then on the circle in the middle as well. And now for our final step, I'm coming in with clean water on the left side, our left, his right. And I'm just going to do this little section first. After adding a little bit of clean water, I'm adding some Payne's Gray and just going to add a little bit of a shadow. If we've got the light source coming from the other side, we're going to have a shadow on this side just to kind of indicate that he is lying on a surface there. And so now coming in with more clean water for the rest of that side and a little bit underneath his foot there. And I decided that Payne's Gray was a little dark up there by the head, so I'm just kind of dragging some of that color down into the wet areas here. We want to be careful not to reactivate the brown paint, so I'm being careful around the edges and just adding our Payne's Gray, whatever color you choose for your shadow. And again, if we've got the light coming from our right side here, his left, we're going to have a little shadow on the inner part of that leg as well. And so adding my clean water and then a little bit of our paint in there as well. And now I'm going to kind of clean my brush off and tap it onto my paper towel so it's pretty dry but a little bit damp, and just going to kind of smudge the edges there just so we don't have hard edges of the Payne's Gray. And you can see I'm just kind of going along the edges, and then I will be carefully kind of moving that Payne's Gray. You can see there's a white space in between the gray and the cookie, and so I'm just trying to get in there real carefully to make the shadow go right up against the cookie. Again, trying not to reactivate the brown paint. We just want the shadow to be visible, and you can see it's going to be a subtle shadow. I got a little bit too much water up in that corner area, and so I just dried my brush and pulled it down a little bit. And just trying to get into those little spaces again so the shadow goes right up against the cookie. And of course, we don't want to forget about that other little leg. So same thing, we're just coming in and just kind of softening up the edges and moving the paint color toward the cookie more so that we don't have any white showing through on that part. And then I decided I still don't, my lines were a little bit too harsh, so I'm just kind of doing little circular motions and softening up the edges even more on those shadows. All right. Phew, I made it through this one. That was kind of funny, right? Okay, I hope you have fun with this. I hope you don't spill coffee on yours, and we'll see you next time.